everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lena and it feels like forever since I've done a sit down video, but this one's super important. As you read by the title, I have some sad news to announce. If you have been with me since the beginning or know me personally, you know that I started this channel to promote my parents' vacation home down in Orlando. In summer of 2020, in the middle of COVID, my parents had this seemingly crazy idea to buy a second house down near Orlando so that we could visit Disney whenever we wanted to, and so that they could use it as not necessarily supplemental income, but that the house would pay for itself, hypothetically, by renting it out when we're not visiting. So I think it was July-ish of 2020 that we got the house. One of my first few videos was a virtual house tour, and I was the first person in my family to go visit the house, and they did a ton to personalize it and update it and make it a home away from home for our family, and it truly was. But this summer of 2023, just 3 years later, my parents have officially sold the house. It is no longer ours anymore. It's super sad for our family. It was a really hard decision for them to come to, but I don't fault them at all. I'm not holding it against them. That wouldn't be fair of me because I didn't pay for it and all that stuff. That's not my place. But they definitely took into consideration how I feel, how my brother feels, how the collective family feels when they decided to put the house on the market. Essentially, they made this decision because we're going to be dipping into savings every month to keep the house up and running. It just wasn't paying for itself like they thought it would. And so while they technically could have managed having that house, it wasn't financially the smartest choice. But with the way the housing market has shifted and exploded these past couple years, literally in just 3 years of owning the house, the value doubled. So in selling the house, they received way more money than they ever could have hoped, and they were able to pay off student loans, pay off car payments, and pay off a really good portion of their mortgage here in Ohio. So it just made so much sense for them to have financial freedom and sell the house in Florida and essentially use that money to take more meaningful vacations. Not that our trips to the house weren't meaningful, but to be more intentional with our visits to Florida and even other places. Believe it or not, you sometimes have to remind Disney adults like myself that there's more places to travel than just Disney World. It's really hard to believe, but I know. So now we can make other family memories, and that's not to say they'll never purchase another property down in Florida. Mom says she looks all the time at other places. Winter Garden has really become a home away from home for us. Even though the house wasn't in Winter Garden, we've fallen in love with that town in all the times that we've been to Florida. My parents and even myself love a church that's down there, and so they're even still listening to that church, even though we don't go to Florida like we used to. So I have a feeling that once my parents retire, that another Florida house will be in our future. But for the next, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 years, we're just going back to how we lived life before. The timing was slightly unfortunate, but manageable. It's okay, because my friend Kayla and I have a trip coming up the last week of September, so coming up here super soon. By the time I post this, it'll probably be like, this will probably go up a week before our trip. And we were intending to stay in the house in Florida. We've had this trip booked since October of 22, so we had no idea the house was going to be sold when we booked this trip, but all is not lost. Disney had a great sale on property. It's one of my favorite things to do. So we were able to get All-Star Movies and literally only pay like 130, 140 bucks a night, which was a steal. You can't even stay here in Columbus, Ohio for that low a night. So to be able to stay on property, I'm so excited. So I'll have stuff about that trip. So I guess this is also a trip announcement. I've not been vlogging much lately, so this is the first I've been able to bring it up. But September 24th through October 1st, we're starting in Disney World. We're flying from Orlando to Anaheim, and we're gonna then spend a few days in Disneyland, and we're so excited. We're so excited. This trip has been a long time coming. This is the biggest Disney trip I've ever done, with the most days in the park I've ever done. and I'm ecstatic. It's gonna be exhausting. We're going to Mickey's Not So Scary and Oogie Boogie Bash. We're staying on property in Disney World. We're staying in a Good Neighbor Hotel in Disneyland. I've got a big announcement to make on said trip. Wink, wink. So it's gonna be huge. I'm so excited, and so I'm uploading again because I'm so ready for this trip and I'm ready to have more content. And even though the house is sold, all is not lost. I'm still gonna be posting periodically, maybe not every Friday. I just don't have the same level of content as I had with the house, but I'm grateful you've come on this journey with me. Thanks for encouraging me and supporting me in this YouTube channel. Go back and watch some of those old house videos. I rewatch my videos all the time because they're home movies to me, and I am so grateful that I started doing this because those memories aren't lost. So thanks for tuning in for this update. It's a sad announcement, but there's still so much to be excited for, and I hope that you subscribe and come back for this epic trip that's coming up here soon. I can't wait to bring you along with. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.